Alright guys, so first client of the day today, we got a 13 Equinox. The customer complained that it's having a hard time to get it started. He thinks that it's a starter, but I tried to crank it and I'll show you guys what it does. If this is the scenario, most likely you just have a bad battery. I'm going to show you guys real quick. Now that is the quickest that it has started yet. Other than that, it has been like a very slow cranking, barely getting it when I turn over. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to take the computer off. It sits on top of the battery. I'm doing this on this side here. It has like a little clip so you can release the plastic, slide it to the side. This is the computer. Here we have a 10mm bolt. Again, on this side here we got 2 more plastic clips. Okay, and these are the clips that I'm talking about. Pretty sure you can pick it up there. And on the same position here, these 2 right here are for the computer, and the one in the center here is for the plastic. Okay, so now we have all that out of the way. We got a 10mm bolt here. I'm going to be taking this guy off. I'm going to put this aside so we don't lose it. And then it's supposed to have these 2 guides here that line up, and there's 2 guides. You slide it forward, take that out of the way. Now we have the battery exposed. Now on the battery, we got the terminals are corrosive on the negative side. We have a bracket here that's going to go up to here, so we're going to have to take these clips off. Okay, so we take these little clips out of the way. Little plastic clips, and set them there. And remove this other plastic. Now you can expose here on that bracket. On the same bracket, if you follow this one to here, there's a 10 here. Okay, and there's a bracket. So that's out of the way. The bracket comes off. We got that. Now here's the battery. So we gotta get a 10 from here. Break that loose. So we gotta get another 10 from here. These bad boys open, and this we're gonna clean out the terminals after we get everything a little bit cleaned up. Out of the way. Baking soda, it does very well on cleaning the battery terminals, like really good. If you guys ever need a clean out the terminal. Trying to pry that open a little bit. There we go. So now we're going to take this battery out of it. I'm going to go ahead and get my brush. Put some brake cleaner on there so we can loosen up and clean up this terminal here so that we try to save it. Alright. Alright guys, so we're going to go ahead and clean the insides. And even on the new battery, you want to clean the post on the new battery. This way you make sure you have a new connection. Alrighty. So now that's clean. Let's get the new battery on there. Post is clean. We don't have to clean that one. And this one is clean. There has been times that I get a new battery and the posts are dirty. So we have to clean them. Now we're going to tie everything back up. You don't have to really tie it crazy. You just want to make sure that the connection is good and it's not loose. Reason being, I've seen this in a lot of people that they over tie the terminals, and then after few battery replacements, the terminals are shot and you can't use them. So like this terminal, we have to do something about it. See? Somebody over tying it at one point and it collapsed. So now we gotta try to fix this issue. This is supposed to be like a runner for the nut to crush onto. Alright guys, let me try to fix that real quick. Alright guys, so I cleaned that terminal, tie it, secure in place. Now we're going to go ahead and put in our hardware. We got the 10mm bolt that goes here. Got the nut that goes here. So if we wanted to try to see if the car will actually start, we can go ahead and give it a try now. so as you guys can see, it does start. So we can continue moving forward. We're gonna go ahead and put this little plastic back on. Our two little beat up clips. Okay, now we have our bottom plate. We have our 10mm bolt that goes here. Now we can go ahead and slide. The board has little guidelines here for the computer to sit on, and then you just push down and it's going to clip on the other side. Then we have the cover. Again, it has some guides, so when you click it in, it's going to click on that right there. Alright, so that's how you do a battery replacement on an Equinox. For this vehicle, we are going to be doing a little bit more stuff. We are going to be replacing the intake filter and the spark plugs. Customer wanted to get that done, so we're gonna do that real quick. I don't know if I want to include everything on the same video. I probably will. The spark, the tune-up, and the battery replacement on the same video. So obviously this is a 4-cylinder. So what we want to do is we want to take the intake manifold, not the intake manifold, the intake filter off. Here we have a 8mm bolt. And we have some starts, some torques on the filter itself. But we're gonna go ahead and open that clamp, so you can take that out of the way. And on the throttle body, we're gonna have another 8mm bolt with the clamp. Okay, so we got those clamps out of the way, and then we should have the breather. The breather here that goes to the valve cover. So now we can take all of this out of the way. And when you're going to put it back on, it has two guides for these two pins right here. So you want to make sure that you put that in place when you're putting everything back on. Alright, then we remove that oil cap so we can take the cover off. Here's the cover. So you can see it's supposed to be a 3-way pinhole to hold the cover. Okay. We're going to put our cover back on, the cap back on. Now we're going to expose the coils and spark plugs. Alright, so now that I have you guys set up on that side, these are the coils. Okay, so we're gonna have to unclip them first. This little white plastic thing here on top, you want to move that back in all of them. That's going to allow you to unclip the plugs on the coils. It's like a little security clip. And then after that, you go ahead and push down and back. Okay, you have them out of the way. And it's going to be a 10mm that holds down the coil. We remove those. 4 of them. Alright, so that's out of the way. I already found something that is not on its place, but let's see. So you want to kind of twist it so you can break it loose. Inspect it to see if you have any arcings. I typically try to put the coils back in the same position they were. We have no oil leaks inside so far. But it really doesn't matter in what position you put them in once you put everything back together. Coil, if they're bad, but you know, it really doesn't matter. I know. I found a lane bolt there, so that's extra. That could be probably from somebody trying to service the sensors here, and that was that. I don't see anything else missing, so they had an extra bolt. I'm gonna go ahead and take them out, and always put AC Delco when you put it on Chevy LC Delco. Let me go ahead and get the socket for them. Be right back. Okay, so what I like to do is I like to break them loose first. And the trick that I do to all my sockets, I remove the rubber piece from the inside. Yes, it's convenient when you removing the plugs, but when you're installing the plug, most of the time the socket tends to stay inside, or the little rubber piece comes out and stays on the plug, and then you have to fight it to get it out. So I take them all off. Okay, it's a little bit tight. I break all the spark plugs loose. And then once I have them all loose, I just get my magnet. And take them off. Again, so here we are. So they're all loose. Take my magnet. They had AC Delco on, so that's a good thing. They've been there for a little while now though. It's starting to get that yellow ring around the coil, and on the bottom it started making like a little baking crust. So we're gonna go ahead and put all new AC Delco spark plugs on it. Alright guys, so this is the parts. GM. It only takes 4, so let's see. Yep, same part number. So let's see if I should. Sometimes I could get it started with the magnet. Now in this case, I'm going to put them in there gently. They already come pre-gapped. You cannot pre-gap it. You cannot grab this ones. Alright, so I like to make sure that they are staying tied down so that the thread doesn't get crossed. I just like to get them started by hand. Alright. don't recommend people to do this, but I've been doing it for so long. Okay, and we're gonna go ahead and torque it down by hand. Okay, so that's that. Now we're gonna go ahead and put our coils in the same position that we're in. Again, you can mix them, it doesn't really matter. If they're bad, they're bad. Okay, we're gonna plug it in. And then you're gonna push the little clip forward again so they don't come loose. And we got our 10mm bolts. Okay. Now, people that like to crank down on this bolt, you're not supposed to, guys. It's just supposed to, it's meant to just hold the coil in place. It's not meant to be cranking down on it. I've seen people do that a lot with the Fords. The Ford that have a plastic manifold, or a manifold. The Ford is a manifold. Also, the ones that boil down to the plastic dog covers, or even the aluminum one. People crank them down. You're not supposed to. It's just supposed to be snug, so it holds the coil in place from coming loose and going up and having a little bit of misfire. That's all it's supposed to do, nothing else. Alright, that being said, we got an extra bolt. We're gonna go ahead and get the Torx to change that filter. Looks like a 225. Put this aside. Get our ratchet extension. See, even on these guys, there's no need to over tighten it. It's a plastic frame. But again, there's people that they over tighten it just to make it seal better or whatever. But then they strip out the thread on the plastic. So then there's nothing you can do, and you end up having a loose filter afterwards. So again, no need to over tighten it. Yes, we do have the sensor. We're now unplugging it. Actually, this filter does not look too bad. I'm going to compare it to the new one and see, but it doesn't look too bad. Alright guys, so here we are. This is white, this is yellow. So it means it's been here for a little bit. It's not too crazy dirty. It's kind of yellowish instead of white. So I'm going to go ahead and put a new one in. Regardless, those things are not too expensive. So might as well just get it done now and out of the way. So again, it has 1, 2, 3, 4 T25 torques around it. And again, guys, see how that one went down? That one's already stripped out. All you have to do is just nug it up. That one's stripped. See guys, there's only one bolt holding this together because somebody decided to overtime it. It is what it is. There's not much we can do about it. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and put a cover back on. We got to remove our oil cap. Take our engine cover. See this? Right here, somebody broke that. Crazy. Engine cover, line it up, and then press it on these 3 corners in here. That's where your things are at. Put them right back on. Now we gotta put our filter, our intake pipe. You know how it works. We're gonna line it up. Don't forget the little hose on this side. This hose. Don't forget to clip it back on. And the line there. The ones in the back. And then we got the intake throttle body. So everything is lined up. Now we're gonna go ahead and attach our hose here. Okay. With the 8, we're gonna secure the intake. Again, guys, can't go too crazy tight. That's plastic. Just a matter of snugging it up. Here on the throttle body, even though it's aluminum, but if you crush the rubber piece that joins the intake through the throttle body, you're gonna crush, and eventually it's gonna, the clamp is gonna bite through the rubber. Alright, so that's done. Now we gotta get our tools out of the way. We're gonna go ahead and start it right now and see how she reacts. We're gonna start it a few times just to make sure that everything is smooth and that where it's supposed to be. There we go. Alright guys, so that's how you do spark plugs, air filter, and battery replacement on a 13 Equinox with a 4-cylinder. Like always, share, like, subscribe, help me help you, and I really thank you guys for where the channel is at the moment. I know we don't have that many subscribers, we don't have that many videos. It's a growing channel, of course, but I want to thank you guys for all the support. That means a lot. Just trying to make it big enough to where I can keep on helping you guys. Alright guys, like always, share, like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Later.